Hey, how's it going, y'all? I just got something to say. You know, I'm not a preacher. I don't claim to be a preacher. I don't claim to be great and almighty. All right, I've had a dream here and there. I've seen light. You know, I've done all that, but I'm not a preacher. I'm gonna let you know now. I'm not a preacher. I never claimed to be. I can't spread no gospel. I'm not really the best at it. I've never really even tried to do it. Only recently now, I've gotten really this love of Christ. And I just gotta say that Christ is, right now, I can feel him working in me. I can feel him working in me. I can feel things inside of me that are changing, that I never thought were possible, that I never thought was even a realistic thing, you know? There's been times in my life where I just thought I was meant to be one way and that's it. Where I was meant to do certain things and that was it. Where I was meant to be just the laughing stock of everything and that was it. But the more I got into Christ, the more my heart is opening up to even people. I've realized that a lot of times it was me not accepting people even as they were coming at me, because it was me that was kind of fearful. It was me that was blocking off the love because I thought they were doing me some certain type of way. And that's not the way I should do. Like God says, love your neighbors as you love yourself, you know? You gotta love your neighbors. You gotta love your enemies. You gotta love each and every one beautifully and equally. And I understand that there's times in this world where you just don't want to do that. You know what I mean? There's times in the world where you feel like you need to inflict something back because you feel so hurt and your heart's just there shattered, and you're like, well, if they shattered me, I'm gonna go shatter them. Or if they shattered me and that was okay, now I'm gonna go shatter someone else, which equally and all is not all right, because God placed us on this earth to be a melody, to be the purest of form of melody that there ever was. I'm talking Beethoven, I'm talking Mozart, all that stuff, like purest form of melody. Each and every one of us humans does have a purpose on this earth, and the purpose is to show the love through one way or another. But it's when people get caught up in their selfish needs, their fleshly desires, that they go off track. And once they go off track, obviously that's where the destruction happens. Whether it's for you, your life might be going really well, right? But you might have had a better purpose in someone else's life to help them out that you don't know about because you're too focused on yourself. And it sucks to put it that way, because a lot of times we like to believe that, you know what, it's free will. We're supposed to get our own. We're supposed to help ourselves. We're supposed to be, you know, just blah, 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 just boom. But that really wouldn't be Christ-like. When Jesus came on this earth, he wasn't really focused on himself. He was focused on how he could help and heal other people. That's all that went through his mind. You gotta understand, when he was on this earth, he only focused on the people that he could help. That was all his motive. That was all his heart went after, to help the other ones who need the help. These broken people out here, that we could be such a symbolic version of light to them, that they might open up their darkness inside of them to the light. Because overall, everyone on this earth, we've all sinned. We've all sinned. I've sinned. You sinned. We've all sinned, and we all got a little bit of darkness in us. The whole point is to believing and trusting God that he will free us from that light. And once he frees us from that light, free us from the darkness, my fault. And then once he frees us from the darkness with his power and his grace and his mercy, and with Jesus Christ walking side by side, once you do that walk with Christ, you start to realize things completely different. Where it's things that you're just grateful for that you didn't even know you were grateful for. You know what I mean? We go through life walking, so blind to everything, so blind because everyone's telling us we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, we need to do that. Well, that's not coming from us. That's not coming from the Spirit most of the time. That's not coming from God. That's coming from everyone else's opinions and everyone else's fears to put inside of you. That's why us as children, a lot of times, we struggle with the same sins that our parents got. And well, we have to be the one to be like, oh no, I'm going to break it here. I'm going to follow God. I'm going to trust in God's word. I'm not going to let anybody else affect me or change my mindset. We have to stay strong for Christ. We have to stay strong for God, because if we don't, then there's going to come a certain point in our lives where we're going to hit that breaking point. We're going to think we did it all. We're going to think we have everything. We're going to think blah, blah, blah. But then we're going to be sitting there like, what happened? I did everything everyone else has ever told me to do. I did everything everybody else has told me to do. Still, I don't feel it. Still, I don't feel it. And I'm begging and I'm crying to feel it. I want to feel like yes. But it's not there. And why not? Because you didn't live for Christ. You haven't given your life to Christ yet. Jesus Christ is more than a friend. It's more than family. He's the purest form of love that we will ever receive in our lives. And once you receive that purest form of love, you just want to spread it out to everyone else. Then you spread it out to everyone else. It's fun. I know that's just fun. That's it. What fun? What do you mean? I mean, it's fun because you know you're actually doing good, and you know you're actually trying to help people and get them out of where they're at. But still, people think that we all have to remember is that there is still going to be people out there rejecting Christ. There's only so much that we can do. There's only so much that, you know, we could provide an example for. We could provide the testimony. We could do all of this, but they're still going to look at us like we're the crazy ones. That's all right, but like I said, God made us to work in perfect unison, to work as a melody, to work as the best musician out there is God. Because God has really shown that if we all follow his way, if we all follow his word, this and that, like Jesus Christ said, he wants all his people to love one another, like just pure, out of pure love. He wants each and every one of us to come in unison, to focus on the same things about what life is. And he's the greatest musician that is. If each and every one of us played our purpose, played our role willingly, then you would see the wonderful music that God can create out of all of us. Either way, that's all I really got to say. So yeah, thank you for listening. And you know what? Let's end it off with a good note. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Love that guy.